and welcome back to ADHD Friendly. I am Patty, the creator of the ADHD Friendly membership community and this podcast. And everything that I do is really geared towards supporting my brain to tilt that playing field more in favor of the different way I do things. And I love to bring what I learned here and share it with you in the hopes that there's something that you can take and put in place in your own life to help you go from struggling to thriving with a bit more ease. So I hear my printer gearing up, and it's just a little mind of its own. Let's kick it off with, this is episode 165.
Woo-hoo!
I have a member celebration I'm going to share, and then I'm going to dip my toe into what I purchased this week. Let's just say my little note here is I lost the thread of my goal. Going to acknowledge that. And then my tip for this week is around meal planning in general, but this could be especially important around the holidays. And then the main topic for this episode is simplifying your year-end task list.
Ooh.
There's only a little bit of time left in 2024, so I want to help you to get what needs to be done finished. All right, let's start as we always do with a celebration. Remember, those celebrations fire up our brain chemistry. They give us that dopamine hit because we're talking about things that feel like a success or something that we feel a sense of accomplishment for. And I've got a couple. My first is, you may have noticed this when you walked in today, all my Christmas decorations are up.
Yes.
I did 2 trees this year, which I have wanted forever. Last year I had my little tree that I got for the conference, and it was super cute, but it wasn't what I was looking for, like a full second tree. So I found another second tree at an estate sale this year, and it's not quite as full as our main tree, but it is the same height. It's pre-wired. It was plug and play, simple. I got it for $12.
What?
I know, it was like the final, like the Sunday of the sale when everything was half off. And so I was like, this tree with its pre-lit, and I really, because I didn't know until I set it up if it was going to work, because I was like, I don't know, it was in a box at an estate sale. It could have been crap, could have been something else inside but a tree. But it went together beautifully. All the parts were in there. There was even an ornament that was still in the box from the original owner. Threw it out. I don't know, I had weird feelings. A little side thing. You don't need to know that. Just a little glimpse into like where my brain goes. Like, oh, I don't know what that's about. No, I don't want it. I don't want to claim the attachment to that. But the tree is great. And I made it my designated Snoopy tree. So only Peanuts and Snoopy ornaments on this tree from the tree chopper down. It's so fun. I wanted to do that for years and I am loving it. And so that's my first celebration. Can you see my energy? I'm like so excited to share that. It just felt so good. My next celebration is my new membership platform is up. So same membership, moved over to a new home that is much easier to navigate. I tried everything I could to make the one that I started with do everything I needed to do and really make it ADHD friendly. And I feel like I really did as much as I could do with the tools that were included, but it just wasn't easy to navigate in a way that I felt like was sustainable. So I'm paying more money. It was a lot of time, a lot of effort, but everything is in there. It is beautiful. It works seamlessly from what I can see. I'm looking for feedback.
Amazing.
You know, if something doesn't work as beautifully as I believe it does, but I'll share some more details on that in a few minutes. But it's just so much more ADHD friendly that it makes me happy just thinking about it. All right. Now, what I purchased this week, I'm just going to dial into the reality is, I got a few things that were not on any list whatsoever. And I really haven't done that in a while. And it was due to the Snoopy tree because I realized like I didn't have like garland or anything kind of to break up. It was just ornaments and Snoopy on top. So I ended up buying a few things to, you know, garland type things to go around the tree. And I needed a couple of additional like little things for the outside decorations. So I bought some things that I were truly wants. They did not need to be purchased at all. And it was just an interesting dynamic that without adhering to my list and my plan, I lost all sense of how much money do I want to spend here?
Right.
How much? It was just, oh, that looks good. Oh, that's a good deal. And it just went in the cart and I bought it. And it was just when I came home and I was doing the planning for this, I was like, oh yeah, I really did go off the rails there and didn't really in the moment connect with it. So once again, the structure of keeping up with the accountability is even more as I do this week after week, something I'm noticing really does need to happen in my life for me to stay connected to it, because clearly I can lose it really quickly, which is something that I know happens. But when we find that evidence, we can see it as a way to judge or an opportunity. And I am choosing to see it as an opportunity to continue learning. Oh, isn't that interesting? My brain did that. And I need to remember what my plan was. And when that happens, what could I do to bring me back to it? Yep. All right. So that leads me to my tool for this week. It has to do with grocery shopping. It's not really meal planning so much as like when you get home after you've done your grocery shopping, you've got everything on the counter, you're getting ready to put it away. Get out a little sticky pad. Simple, like keep it really easy. Yep. And what I do is while I have everything on the counter, I write down all the meals I plan to make with it. Sometimes they're already prepared meals, so I'm just writing down what I bought, because here's what happens. I put them in drawers. I tuck it in the freezer. If they're ingredients that I bought to make something they go in, they go in they go in the cabinets, they go in all these different places. I forget. It's so ridiculous how out of sight, out of mind my brain is, that I will end up throwing things away because I forgot they were in there. Or I'll eat crap because I forgot I bought healthy snacks
to make something.
Or even just a healthy snack. Like I bought, like I like to freeze my walnuts and pecans. Number one, they stay fresh longer. But number two, a frozen pecan is just like a little delight to behold. It's just so much more sparkly than just a regular room temperature pecan. But because they're in the freezer,
you're gonna forget.
They're out of sight, out of mind. So if you are listening, I bet you just check out my YouTube channel. This is just a quick example where this is literally the kind of list I make. I write meals on the top, and I have a list of, I think, 5 meals here. And then below I have snacks and a list.
Love it.
It's a simple, easy thing. It gets stuck on the fridge. I cross them off as we eat the different things. So I know what's still left. I have done it with charts with pictures. If it's like, especially snacks, I like to do because I tend to buy the same types of snacks. So that's a visual I'll hang up on the fridge. But the simplest, easiest thing is often the thing that we will actually implement and put in place. And this is what I go back to, because often the meals I don't have pictures for. I don't want to write out cards. It's just really simple. Just make a list and stick it on the fridge. Everybody knows that's on there. So they'll go and they'll look at it. And it's at the point that people are, it's where people are going to be looking for food. It's on the door of the fridge. We're going to be looking there. So make note of what you have while it's in front of you. Keep it simple. Try it out. Notice if it supports you to eat more than you would have without that little list. Notice what you get from doing it. And if you want to share what you learn or what you do to help keep your food when you purchase it in sight and in mind, so that you're following through with your intentions for what you plan to do with it, share in episode 165. Post in the comments. We would love to hear other strategies to help you to eat more of the food you're buying instead of tossing it because you forgot it. Or you buy it again because you forget it was
then
there.
you have multiple.
Oh my gosh. So frustrating. Okay. Really quick little note here. I did want to share a little bit more information about the new membership platform. One of the things that I am able to do in this new platform that I wasn't able to do in the other one, that is one of the reasons I moved to this new platform, is I'm launching a year-long course. It will be an on-demand course partnered with live sessions to complement it. So the year-long course is called ADHD-U, meaning ADHD University.
So cute.
4 semesters following the season structure. So we start with the winter semester in January, and then, follow through the 4 seasons of the year. So for January, February, and March, which is the winter semester, I'm going to be focusing on planning your best year yet. So we're going to dive into planning out your year, all of the tools and support. There'll be on-demand videos to watch, live workshops and sessions, and that's going to continue throughout the winter semester. And then the spring semester will roll out. Since I'm creating it in 2025, it's all fresh, it's all new. There'll be custom worksheets, tools, things that we'll do together. And we're going to kick it off by planning our best year yet. Make 2025 your best year yet. If you're looking for more support, more customized tools, more opportunities to implement what you intend to do, not just think about it and plan it, join me over at ADHD Friendly. Check it out at ADHD-Friendly.com, where everything is in there on demand that was available in the old platform. So it has the personal owner's manual course, it has the planner course, it has all the Palm tools, planning tools. It has a video library. It has an app. You don't even know this. I know. I'm going to show you later. I have it all set up. It's stunning. I'm so excited. Check it out. And I hope to see you there to plan your best year yet with me. All right. On to our main topic for this year. Simplify your end of year task list. So a lot of us had great intentions for 2024, right? And my things got finished. I'm going to talk about that in our next episode. I'm going to update my 24 and 24 list next week. But we have 2 weeks left in 2024, pretty much from the time that this comes out until 2025 is just under 2 weeks. So with the remaining time that you have in 2024, what do you need to accomplish and what can you decide can wait? And I wanted to help you to come up with a plan for that. So my example for this is I'm having company come for Christmas. So my example is a very concrete deadline oriented example because I thought that would be an easier way to navigate than giving kind of like a whole, I'll go through some other examples as I gave you my kind of rundown of steps. But when I thought about what was my main goal for the company coming, because there's so many things I want to do. Like I could get into like literally like I need to paint baseboards. Like I could get into the,
yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna put up those new lights or what, like literally like ceiling lights. And there's lots of we can go down lots of avenues of options. But I realized that my main priority was creating a festive home. I wanted to have space for us to play games, to watch TV and movies, to relax, to read, for people. I have a lot of introverts in my home. So I needed to, think about if somebody's going into a little like spot to carve out space for themselves, I wanted there to be a little kind of holiday something anywhere that somebody might go sit and hang. So that was kind of my thread of what's my priority. And then I could go through my list and see what fits into that. So I realized I needed to do some decorating. I needed to clean so that the decorations didn't end up feeling like really cluttered.
Oh yeah.
Right. Because you're pulling all these things out and it's adding to, so I didn't want that to feel overwhelming. But I realized like the annex, as Mark calls it, the second office that you and I work in, which is originally the dining room.
Right.
It's full of files and papers and, just lots of things. And I thought, I need to let this room go. It is not the most essential. We're not going to eat in there or anything. It's the office space now. So I was envisioning, clearing the table of all of our stuff and getting everything. And I was just, I don't have time for that. I can let that go. We don't need to use that space. For the outside decorations, I started hanging wreaths on the windows because I thought I want them to, when they come here from the airport, I want them to pull up and be like, oh, look at this Christmas house. And what I realized was I love wreaths on every window. It was always my dream. I've done it the 6 Christmases we've been here. You didn't notice. They're not out there this year. They are such a pain in the butt to hang up. The first one I hung, it snapped off because it was windy the day.
It's been really windy here.
And it just flew into the yard. And I'm up on the 2nd floor with the window open. And I'm like, you know what?
Nope.
This has nothing to do with the feeling I'm creating inside my house.
Yeah.
I'm letting it go. And so if I can keep that thread, it helps me to narrow the scope of what I'm expecting myself to do and let go of the things that don't fit within that. So here are some tips to help you go through your list. Again, that was just an overall example. So number 1, take stock of what you have left on your list that still hasn't been completed. So make a quick list, write everything down that you feel like has to happen before the end of the year. Okay, don't overthink it, just a quick, if you'd like set a timer, 5-10 minutes, that's it. Just write down what feels like has to happen before the end of the year. Then sort it into categories. The categories can be really simple, like must do, might do, can do, right? But not like, or it can wait. So for the must do things, these are deadlines that can't be moved. So these are urgent commitments. These might be like, you have bills that are due before the end of the year. You have a tax payment, something that you don't have a choice in this. It has to happen. Nice to do can be things that are critical, but aren't, or that are important, but not critical. So you'd like to complete them, but it's not going to cause any real inconvenience if it's not done, and there's not really a consequence. So it might be like, oh, I'd like to get the dining room turned into a dining room for the week. Yeah, that'd be nice, but I don't care. I can let that go. Can wait is anything not immediately tied to an immediate consequence. So it might be that you're thinking, you know what, I'd really like to set up a movie viewing area or something, like, I don't know, but it's like, oh, that'd be really fun. Yeah. But does it really need to happen right now? I think I can wait. I can think about that. Maybe I'll do that next year. But so it's a new project, new things that, or there are things on your list that would be really nice if they could happen, but they can wait. And so it's not tied to anything that has to happen before the end of this year. So we want to clear the list of things that can wait, because it's going to clear that space. It's going to take some of the pressure off and allow you to focus on the things that are really important or tied to deadlines. Number 2, focus on high impact tasks. So try asking yourself these questions. Will it make a big difference if I do this now? So kind of, I'm going to go back to my example with the dining room. No, like I would like to have it all neat and tidy and organized and looking pretty, but no, it really wouldn't make a big difference. Is it tied to a hard deadline? Right? No. So like if I needed to use the table to eat the dinner, then yes, that would be tied to a hard deadline. If I didn't have another place for us to sit. But my example is no. How long will it take? So this is a great example. So if it's like, well, that's going to take a day. Do you have an entire day to do something? Maybe it'll take, like my example of wanting to paint the baseboards. Well, first I'd have to pull the furniture away from the baseboards. I'd have to clean the baseboards. I'd have to
Put
tape
something down.
Yeah. So I'm like, this is a multiple step project. This is not a like, oh, I'll just get the paint can, give it a quick stir and start slapping it on. So thinking about how long you will need. Set a limit to the days you have left. So I always like, I'm a big fan of getting out a calendar so you can see, mark up the days you're unavailable. So maybe it's, I can't do anything on weekdays because I'm working and I don't have any time. So you've got weekends. Maybe you've got, I think you've got one weekend when this comes out before Christmas. So if you have 2 days to work with, it really helps to pull in the amount of time. Or if you're like navigating towards the new year, you have maybe 2 weekends. If you don't have time during the week, it really helps to prioritize those tasks. Limit yourself to 2 or 3 priority tasks max. You can always do more, but don't add more than 2 or 3 to your list any given day. That's it. That's how we prioritize. Remember, with our brains, everything feels equally important. If we put some boundaries around how much time will I need? I can only do 3 things a day max. It automatically helps provide some structure that makes it easier to prioritize. Number 3, create ADHD-friendly deadlines. So this means maybe you're breaking larger tasks into smaller steps with mini deadlines. So it might be, I'm going to go back to another holiday example. Okay, I have to do my newsletter and I have to get the cards out. So I'm going to write the newsletter on Wednesday, and then on Saturday, I'm going to stuff the cards and address them. And I'm going to plan on having them all done and mail them on Monday. So I'm breaking it up, but I'm giving myself deadlines with dates to make it easier to get it done. Maybe you want to use timers or accountability buddies or checklists to help keep up with it. So this was my little example. I was as excited as I was to have the 2 trees. I was feeling completely overwhelmed about the idea of starting decorating this year. I don't know what it was. It was the day after Thanksgiving, which is like the day I jump up and I can't wait. And I was like, not feeling it. Like, I'm not kidding. Like I kept sitting around all day thinking about, I really do need to get started. Maybe I'll get another cup of coffee first. Like I was totally procrastinating. I was thinking about how to get motivated. And I realized all I was doing was thinking of everything that had to get done, but I didn't have a list. So I went to my laptop and I made a list of cleaning that needed to get done. I ended up categorizing it. So I came up with cleaning, set up, decorate, and store, like what I needed to go to the store to buy. And then final prep. These were my categories. So I made a list of in green were the things I needed to clean. The list in yellow are things I had to set up, like set up the Christmas tree. I had number 1, put on gloves. The garland and all of that really bothers my hands. I mean, like, I don't know what it is, but it completely dries my hands out.
Scratchy and like itchy.
Yep, it's awful. And then I had in pink things that had to be decorated. And then in purple, I made a list of things I had to buy at the store. And last I had for final prep, wrapping the gifts. And then I went over and I estimated how many hours, and this really helped me to stop expecting myself to do it all on Friday. First of all, it was already 11:30, so it wasn't all going to happen that day.
Right.
But I realized if I just cleaned on Friday, Saturday, I could just allow myself to set things up. So, and this was the first year I didn't do everything in one day.
Oh, you broke it up
I
the
did.
whole weekend.
I did. And it was really, really easier and more sparkly. And I just watched Christmas movies in the background while I did it. And it just lightened it up. But if I tried to keep this in my head I'd still be sitting over there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be here right now. So I just wanted to share, in the moment, if you're feeling stuck, often there's just a lot going on. We need to get it out of our head in a tool that we can use. So I went to my spreadsheet, but then you know me, I like to print it, put it on a clipboard. I check them off. And even while I had everything on here, I still allowed myself not to do certain things. Like I gave up the dining room. It was on my list. I let it go. I gave up decorating something in the kitchen. I didn't have anything for like this one little shelf I thought I would make really cute. Well, what does really cute mean? So that's like still like it's okay the way it is. I might do something before, but just make a plan. All right. Number 4 that leads to this too, let go of perfection. So I would say define what good enough is. What does good enough look like? For me, good enough looked like getting both trees up with, I did need the little, needed something, which took me to Target. I needed some garden. I found some really cute little silver snowflakes.
Oh, cute.
They're adorable. But allow yourself to let go of perfection and be okay with good enough. Just like, I do my newsletter every year. To me, it's more important to get the newsletter out than it is to make it a perfect newsletter. Same thing with the picture. It's an okay picture of us, but like we're not, we set a timer, we jump into the thing.
Yeah.
There are 6 of us. So to pick up one picture that all 6 of us are like fine, there's always somebody in the picture that doesn't look great.
Right.
And usually that person is my husband and I. We have to kind of like take the fall for one of the, it's like, fine, it's fine, just do it.
Send it out.
But it's like, it's good enough.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it would not happen. If I waited to find the thing,
yeah,
I wouldn't do anything. So decide what good enough is. And then last but not least, make space for self-care. Remember the importance of self-care during the holidays. If it's a cup of coffee, you can just sit and enjoy while looking at your decorations, while reading a book, while looking outside at nature, go for a walk, whatever self-care feels like for you, make sure that you carve out some time so that you're not burning yourself out towards the end of 2024 so that you can get those things that are important to you checked off. All right. Ready for the book of the week?
Yes, I am.
I feel like I've just been talking. All right. So I have got the book of the week is The Dutch House. I haven't done that Dutch House, have I? I don't know. I feel like I printed this out twice, but then I couldn't find my printout. So this came out in 2021. It's by Anne Patchett. It was a Pulitzer Prize finalist. I really did enjoy this. So I listened to the audio version of this and it was narrated by Tom Hanks. Very enjoyable narration. I could speed him up because he speaks kind of slow. So I could speed that baby up and get right through it. So let me just read you a really quick little summary here from the New York Times write-up. They said, this is a richly moving story that explores the indelible bond between 2 siblings, the house of their childhood, and a past that will not let them go. The Dutch House is a story of a paradise lost, a tour de force that digs deeply into questions of inheritance, love, and forgiveness, of how we want to see ourselves and of who we really are. I thoroughly enjoyed it. What I will say is, if you have any background in your family of negative parents or step parents, this is a step parent who's particularly hateful and negative towards the 2 kids in this family when she comes into the family. And I found that hard to read because I just found that a little draining to go through with them. So I just want to highlight that little sensitivity there. But it was, I loved reading about the house itself, the details. I just wanted them to be in that house all the time. And I loved the feeling it created when I read it. So thoroughly enjoyed that. All right. For our quote of the week, it's not from the Dutch House. It's back to excellent advice for living. Wisdom I wish I'd known earlier, from Kevin Kelly. We're back to Kevin.
Kelly.
So he's got a good one here. He says, if you're doing something that you are hiding from others, it's probably not good for you. Okay, this resonated with me because I have been sneaking Dove chocolate with peppermint. It's this new Dove chocolate, the little chocolates,
Oh,
and
I'm
they're
a
dark
sucker
chocolate
for
with the,
pepper-
oh my gosh. And I realized, like, I'm like, I'll take one and I'll come in here and I'm like,
You're like,
and I'm
I'm
like, yes, about
doing
Dove
anything.
peppermint. But maybe it's because I'm having more than one. Oh, just when I read that, I was like, that resonates. So yeah, I've done that with s'mores before. For me, it's always a sweet treat where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make s'mores, microwave.
You're like, no one's
Because
around.
and s'mores, like you eat a s'more, you're gonna have chocolate all over your mouth. Like there's no avoiding it.
Yeah.
It's like, how you doing? Oh, good. What are you eating? What are you eating? Yeah. So that's it for this episode. That was 165. As always, if you have a tip you want to share, please post it in the comments. Check us out on our YouTube channel, ADHD Friendly. And as always, take what works for you, leave the rest behind. That's the ADHD Friendly way. Till next time, tally ho.